how's training going? Since you just got out the ring, training camp soon coming back around. How's it been going so far?
It's going pretty good. I'm just staying in shape right now. Staying on my P's and Q's, working on the mistakes that I made in my last fight, and just staying in shape. I'm waiting for the call for the next one.
Is there any particular fight date that you want to get back? You want to get back in the summer, spring? Any range that you want to get back in the ring?
Did you say any fight?
It could be a fight as well, but is there any ideal date also?
Yeah, just basically correct the mistakes that I made in my last fight, and just be a better fighter overall this time around. Whether it be in the summer or in the fall, I'm ready to get back in that ring. I'm itching to get back in there.
Is there any specific fighter that you want to get back in the ring with? Do you want to rematch Fulton or face one of the other champions or contenders?
Eventually, I'll want to rematch Fulton. But for now, I've heard that they're gonna put me in a fight with the top contender. Mm-hmm. So it could be any of the top contenders in the WBC or any of the organizations, So any of those fighters, I'm ready for it. I'm a fighter. I don't pick and choose. I'll fight anybody.
What do you believe separates you from the other top contenders and even champions at your weight class and in the sport all around?
I believe my work ethic. I have a very strong work ethic, and I really use that to my advantage. Is my work ethic and my ability to throw punches a lot. And I'm also pretty smart in there too as well. I just don't go in there just throwing a bunch of punches. I could be very technical. My last fight, there was a few mistakes I made in my training camp, which rendered me from getting the W. But that's what we're here for, to learn from those mistakes and to move on.
And do you feel that your style, when it comes to facing most opponents, is more of a make or break style? Like you could mentally and physically wear down and break down fighters in the ring? Is that how you describe your style, kind of?
Definitely. I could wear them down, whether it be by pure pressure, or I could wear them down mentally, just by them not being successful with what they're trying to do.
I know that you've been training in the Mayweather camp. What's some of the best sparring you've had in that area? Some of the real workouts you're like, yeah, I got some great sparring in here.
I'd have to say there's been a couple times, there's been a few times where I've sparred, top contenders, a lot of top contenders. I sparred ex-world champions, current world champions. All those type of fighters and all those sparrings, have shaped where I am today. So, it's an honor and it's a privilege to work there for sure.
What was your first interaction with Floyd Mayweather? We know that he's very high on you. What's the first time that you saw him, and what's the first real conversation that you remember having with him?
When I first saw him, I think was back in 2016, and he was pretty cool. He was a real humble, real cool. Not like what he portrays online or on TV. He's definitely a laid back guy. So, I was a little starstruck seeing him because my first time seeing Floyd, you see him on TV all the time. So you're like, you're thinking he's a certain way, but he's really not. He's pretty cool people.
And what do you think he saw in you that made him really get high in you and really back you?
I think my ability to adapt. When he studied me, he really seen me spar when he really paid attention to me when I sparred Javonta Davis. So I sparred Javonta Davis for, I think it was summer of 2017, and he seen me spar a good 5 rounds, and they had told him to keep an eye out for me to take a look at me. So he liked me. He seen the way I was able to adapt. I was able to change it up if I needed to, if something wasn't working. He seen that I was able to change it, and that's a very important trait to becoming a world champion. Is to be able to adapt to your opponent and to switch it up if you need to.
How was it like sparring Javonta Davis? Such a great fighter, much bigger than you as well in weight, big puncher. Was that a great learning experience for you?
Of course it was. I grew up with Javonta Davis in the same tournaments as I was. So he was always around the same age as me and always around the same weight as me. But we never met up in the amateurs. But in the pros, he became a different animal. Definitely, he became a power puncher. In amateurs, he was more of a boxer. He moved around a lot. But in the pros, he just got that. He got that knockout power, and then, you know, he is what he is today. But it was a very cool experience. He hits hard. The power is for real.
Mhm.
Um, and he's just a all-around great counterpuncher.
And you also mentioned your amateur experience. You feel that your amateur experience has helped you as a fighter? Do you feel like that you have more of a pro style and didn't really benefit you that much?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I had around 80 amateur fights, but the real experience came from when I started sparring in the pros. When I was around 17 or 18 years old, I started doing a lot of professional sparring with top contenders as well, world champions like Leo Santa Cruz and all of them. I was sparring them when I was only 18. So that right there shaped to who I am today.
Do you feel that your last fight made you a better fighter? I mean, every fighter has said in their career that whenever they lost, they became a better fighter compared to when they won. Canelo Alvarez is the best example of that. Do you feel that that has helped you fix your tools and really improved you as a fighter?
Definitely, definitely. I had a few weeks to reflect on what I did and the mistakes I made in my last fight, and right now I'm just correcting them all, making sure they don't happen again. And definitely, a loss can make you as a fighter, or it could break you as a fighter. And I have the champion mindset, so it's definitely going to make me a better fighter.
There's three champions in the 122 division. Who do you think is the best out of those three, and who do you think is the worst out of those three, just off of talent? And who do you think would be maybe the easiest win out of those three for you?
Who we got? Luis Neri, Merjan, and Fulton. You know, I'd say the toughest right now would probably be probably Merjan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I sparred Merjan. Uh, he's a he's a southpaw. He moves around a lot, and he's got good power. But there's ways to exploit him. There's definitely ways to exploit him. Luis Neri, he's a good volume puncher. He throws a lot of punches like me. I think me and him would make for an exciting fight. And Fulton, of course, he's the champion for a reason now. So they're all tough. There's no one easier than anyone. They're all world champions for a reason. So that's a tough question right there.
And out of all the fighters in the sport, past and present, who's your favorite past and present fighter in boxing?
My present favorite fighter would probably have to be Terrence Crawford.
Big fan of
Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is his ring IQ. He and his not only his ring IQ, but he sets up shots. He boxes well, and at the end of the day, he still gets the knockout. So I have to say Terrence Crawford, and then my past fighter would have to be Roberto Duran and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, that's
And then
some great.
Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah.
So when it comes
Those are
to
my top three.
when it comes to Sugar Ray and Duran, so I assume those are your favorite guys out of the Four Kings. Agree?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. You got to give props to Hearns and Hagler, though. Those guys they're beasts in there too. So all four of those fighters, although I do think that they should include Wilfred Benitez.
Yeah.
He's a great fighter as well. Very defensive, very slick, and he fought all of them but Hagler, I believe.
True, true. And what those fighters showed and why to remember is that they were always willing to fight the best. That's something that you've proven. You fought two top undefeated guys back to back. Do you feel like more fighters should be willing to take the type of risks that you've shown to be willing to take?
Definitely, definitely. That's what we're here in the sport for. To give the fans exciting fights. Of course, to make money, and that's what we're here for. And not to duck no one. And that's how you secure your legacy as a boxer, as a world champion, is to fight the best. And if you're not fighting the best, no one's gonna remember you in the end.
100%. I definitely agree with that. We need more fighters willing to do that. And how'd you get into boxing? What made you decide you want to become a boxer?
My dad got me into boxing when I was around 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old. He just introduced me to the boxing gym when, like the summer of that year, 2002, 2003. And, I just, from there, I just liked it and I just kept up with it. I started winning and I thought to myself, I'm pretty good at this stuff. So I just stayed with it.
And what do you do outside of boxing? To keep your mind off the sport. Sometimes you need a break from it.
Yeah, yeah. When I outside, I just chill with friends, chill with my family. See, I go out places, go walk around, go to the parks. I still love to train and all that. That's what I love to do. So when I'm not boxing, it's kind of hard, to find something else. But I like to draw. I like to paint and all that, and just overall just chill.
And my last question for you is, if you could make one dream fight for yourself, past, present, any fighter in boxing history against you, which fight would you love to have seen how it would play out for you? Like, who would you love to have faced?
Who would I like to face? I like to face. Mm, yeah, I said I like to face Dan, probably Wilfredo Gomez.
For sure, that
Wilfredo
would.
Gomez.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's regarded as one of the best 122 pounders that ever lived. So I'd like just to face him, see how much power he had and all that. It'd be an honor to be in the ring with that.
Oh, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you doing this interview. Before we end, can you just tell people where they can find you and what socials they can find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Angelo X Leo. I also have a Facebook. Just look up my name on Facebook. And I'm still working on my Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I'm still working on building it. But I'll have a Twitter up soon. And yeah, that's where you guys can find me. Those two platforms.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was great having you. I truly appreciate it. We wish you best of luck in the next fight, and we're excited to see you back in the ring.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Have a good one.
All right, you too.